میگه وخت پر دغه مقابله تیاری
د خپل امنیتي ځواکونو ملاتړ وکړو.
تیر شپه پر ملکی خلکو بمباري وکړه.
امارات اسلامي موږ ته ضرورت شي نو موږ به تر شا ولاړ یو.
کور د باتورانو کور ستاکانی او بوټي ټول مونږ ته لاړو ندي افضل من خلل قوي
الله
له پاکستان سره موږ اړیکې لوړې ژورې لري.
افغانستان دفاع مشروع از خود کرده است.
ولای شي داد د زمریانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور.
نظام پاکستان یک نظام مفسد است.
هر هیواد او هر دښمن چې په موږ باندې د یرغل یا د یو حمله خارجي فکر مو لري موږ ورته غاښ ماتونکي ځواب ورکوو.
داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور.
Hello and welcome to RTA News. Here are the latest updates about Afghanistan and abroad. Let's begin. The Pakistani mercenary regime carries out air strikes on some areas of Argun and Barmal districts of Paktika province last night. The attacks were carried out on civilian houses, resulting in the deaths and injuries of a large number of civilians and innocent people. The attacks come as a temporary ceasefire between Afghanistan and Pakistan has been extended until the end of the Doha talks between the two sides. According to the reports, 17 people were killed and 16 others wounded in the attacks by the Pakistani mercenary regime in Argun and Barmal districts of Paktika province. Most of them were women and children. In response to last night's attacks by Pakistani forces along the Diran line, Afghan heroic forces conducted retaliatory operations. The attacks began after Pakistani militias carried out air strikes on civilian homes in parts of Paktika province, specifically in the districts of Argun and Barmal. Reports indicate that the Pakistani side suffered heavy losses in these strikes. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan has strongly condemned Pakistan's violation of the ceasefire and attacks on civilians in Paktika province, calling the actions provocative and aimed to prolonging the war. Meanwhile, the European Union, the International Human Rights Foundation and several experts have denounced the strikes as clear violation of international law. Pakistani forces violated the ceasefire on Saturday night by launching air strikes into Argun and Barmal districts of Paktika province, martyring 10 people and injuring 16 others. The Islamic Emirate has strongly condemned Pakistan's targeting of civilians, calling it a clear provocation aimed at prolonging the war.
Last
night, once again, Pakistani military forces carried out air strikes on civilian areas in Paktika, resulting in the martyrdom and injury of a number of civilians. The Islamic Emirate strongly condemns the repeated crimes of the Pakistani military and the violation of Afghanistan's sovereignty, calling such actions an attempt to escalate war. Pakistan has always acted contrary to its commitments. The promises and agreements it has made with Kabul, whether related to economic cooperation, social relations, political matters, and ceasefire, have never been honored. The air strikes on civilians have sparked a strong international condemnation. Representatives of the European Union and the International Human Rights Foundation have denounced Pakistan's attacks in Argun and Barmal districts of Paktika province, calling them a blatant violation of international law.
I call on both sides to remain committed to the ceasefire, as the continued escalation of conflict is claiming innocent lives on both sides and fueling further instability in the region. Pakistan airstrikes in Paktika province, which claimed the lives of civilian and cricket players, are strongly condemned. We urge international organizations to investigate this attack on Afghan civilians, and those responsible must be brought to justice.
Whichever side initiates such conflict is a fault, not only for killing civilians but also for killing soldiers, because the two countries are neighbors, Muslim and mostly followers of the same sect. Therefore, the aggressor is guilty not only from a human rights and international law perspective, but also from religious, cultural and neighborly standpoints. The aggressor must acknowledge its crime and apologize to the other side. Former US envoy Zalmay Khalilzad, an ex-Pakistani parliamentarian Mohsen Davar, criticized Pakistan's policy toward Afghanistan as harmful and urged Islamabad to honor the ceasefire to reduce regional tensions and support lasting peace.
I call on Pakistan to honor the ceasefire and show its sincerity and loyalty toward peace and stability in Afghanistan. Is Pakistan truly a neighbor of Afghanistan? If it is, then it must stop attacks, take responsibility for its action, and respect the ceasefire. Pakistan should rethink its wrong policy because it's misguided and only brings harm to the people.
The air strikes conducted by Pakistan in Afghanistan are a violation of Afghanistan's national sovereignty, and the killing of individuals at any level is contrary to all human rights values. These actions by Pakistan limit the possibility of a dialogue and negotiations and increase tensions. Despite repeated calls for a ceasefire, Pakistan last night targeted civilians in Afghanistan, violating the truce and sparking reactions both domestically and internationally. The Afghanistan National Olympic Committee strongly condemned the recent air strikes by the Pakistani military in Urgun districts of Paktika province, attacks that left several nationals, including athletes, martyred and injured. The committee denounced the incident as a grave humanitarian crime and called on international sports bodies to condemn Pakistan's actions and take serious measures against those responsible. Tragic blow to Afghan cricket in Paktika. The Afghanistan Cricket Board mourns the martyrdom of several players in Pakistani air strikes in Argun district, calling it a grave loss for the cricket community. At the same time, Afghans strongly condemned the attacks and placed support for the national government and homeland. Report.
Deadly attacks in Paktika last night. Pakistani mercenary militias struck the Argun and Burmal districts, leaving cricket players, women and children martyred and injured. Officials from the Afghanistan Cricket Board confirmed that 3 players were martyred and several citizens wounded in the strikes.
Last night in Paktika province, Pakistan attacked a house in which 3 of our local cricket players were martyred, along with 4 other citizens, and 7 others were wounded. Accordingly, the Afghanistan Cricket Board shares its condolences with their families and all fellow citizens.
In response to the attack, Mr. Pakhtani says the Afghanistan Cricket Board has cancelled the coming T20 match against Pakistan, which was scheduled for the last November as a mark of respect for the victims.
The match that was scheduled to take place in Pakistan in the upcoming month of November has been cancelled because our national interest and people are our priority. When Pakistan does not respect Afghanistan's full independence and sovereignty, we do not wish to engage with such a country.
Residents, while expressing support for their government, added that they are ready to stand by their forces if needed.
We are fully ready to wage jihad against Pakistan. We are standing firm. We will fight jihad against Pakistan.
Amid national and international outrage over Pakistan's recent air strikes on Afghanistan, the country's cricket players have strongly condemned the attacks and expressed deep condolences for the martyrdom of their fellow citizens and teammates.
The International Human Rights Organization has strongly condemned the attack by cricket players by Pakistani militias in Paktika province. The organization called the strike on civilians a clear violation of international humanitarian law and the United Nations Human Rights Charter. It urged all global human rights bodies to urgently investigate the incidents and ongoing violence against Afghan civilians and to hold those responsible accountable. The drilling of 30 drinking water wells has begun in the Bagram district and provincial center of Parwan province with a total cost of 3 million Afghanis through the Provincial Directorate of Rural Rehabilitation and Development. Local officials say that the project has already created work opportunities for dozens of people, and once completed, over 500 families will gain access to safe drinking water. That was all for now. Thanks for being with us. Have a great time.
موږ هر وخت پر دغه مقابله تیار یو.
د خپل امنیتي ځواکونو ملاتړ وکړو.
تېره شپه پر ملکي خلکو بمبارۍ وکړې.
امارات اسلامي موږ ته ضرورت شي نو موږ به تر شا ولاړ یو.
کور دا د باتورانو کور ستا کاڼي او بوټي ټول مونږ ته لعلونه دي.
له پاکستان سره زموږ اړیکې لوړې ژورې لري.
افغانستان دفاع مشروع از خود کرده است.
نیولی شي دا د زمریانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور.
نظام پاکستان یک نظام مفسد است.
هر هیواد او هر دښمن چې په موږ باندې د یرغل یا د یو حملې خارجي فکر مو لري موږ ورته غاښ ماتونکی ځواب ورکوو.
کور دا د باتورانو 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 کور.